Well, good morning. It is the day after Christmas, and not sure what the day holds. I'm just out here to share a couple verses that I think the Lord would love it if we was to look at these two verses, especially on the day after the holidays is over. And, sad to say, there's many people that don't observe the holiday of Christmas. They don't observe the significance of Christ and of his birth. It's more traditional of giving gifts and getting fun things, and gifts is not the answer. Now, I'll be the first one to say that a little child, looks for the presents and things, and I did when I was little. But as you soon find out as you get older, things that you thought was real was not real. But the two verses I want to look at is found in Psalm 139. And I've been doing some meditating on these two verses a week ago and never really come to air and never really put this on film, on video. But there's two verses in Psalm 139 that really talks to us. And the psalmist is trying to get us to examine ourselves in a way that we could read the whole Bible, but when it comes right down to the nitty gritty, David, I believe, is the one that wrote this particular psalm. He's asking several questions in these two verses that I'm going to use. If you have your Bible and want to open it to Psalm 139, you can. If you look down at the bottom of the chapter, you see where verse 23 begins this way. Search me, O God. If my room is a little bit cluttery right now, I probably need to do a little throwing away stuff and getting rid of stuff. And I'm looking around at my room and I'm seeing some things that are out of place that needs to be thrown in the garbage, and I'll see things that I don't use anymore and things that I used to use when I was employed. I've got this counter. It's like a click button that I used in one of my adventures when I was working. And I'm looking around and seeing my stamp and just pens and just everything. Just everything. But David, I believe, if I'm correct, David says, search me, O God. You know, God knows. When David said these words, I believe that he knew that God was already searching him. Sometimes I don't think that when we ask certain things, when I come out here and I can put my own words to the words that David said, if I was to go and say, "Search me, O God," God has already searched me. I don't have to ask him to search me. But he says here, "Search me, O God, and know my heart." He knows man's heart. He knows what man is capable of doing. He knows what man is troubled about. He knows his high times of life and his low times of life. He says, "Search me. Search me, O God, and know my heart." I think that would be a great prayer that we all need to ask ourselves. I don't need to wait until Sunday for the Lord to search me on what my message might be come Sunday. It very well might be these two verses. I don't know. I tend to come out and make a video. I don't normally make a live video. Never tried it. I've always done it the traditional way. I'm not going to be bombarded with thumbs up and hearts going beside my screen. Now, some people gets into that. They count to see how many people's watching. I could care less. This video is going to be the same video whether I went live or if I'm what I'm doing right now. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. He knows my thoughts. My gosh, is there anything that he does not know? Whenever I go and use these words in this verse, does he know my thoughts? I think that David, even when David was writing this, he sensed the Lord watching him. He sensed the Lord looking at him. He sensed the Lord examining him. But, you know, we could always say, well, that was what David was saying. David was saying this. No, I think that if I was to use the words that David said, "Search me, O God." Me is me, myself, and I. Can I search David? Well, David's already dead and gone. His bones is still laying somewhere. He's waiting on the return of the Lord, just like a lot of people is waiting on the return of the Lord. Try me, O God, and know my heart. Did David really have to say that? I think he's basically using this as an example for us to try ourselves. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. Does the Lord have to try me to know my heart? I don't know my heart like the Lord knows my heart. But David says, try me. Another word for that word, try me, I believe I can safely say, prove me. Prove me for your self-worth, O Lord. When he says here, search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. God knew his thoughts because God knows all things. I don't think David knew his thoughts. I think David, I guess you could say, he no doubt had to wonder because he didn't know all things. I don't know everything about my heart. I just don't. But the verse don't stop there. And see if there be any wicked way in me. Now he starts out, search me, O God, and know my thoughts. And see, try me, and know my thoughts. Prove me, and know my thoughts. The Lord already knows the thoughts. He knows the thoughts and the intents of the heart. And see if there be any wicked way in me. The Lord, if a person really wanted to know the truth about themselves, the only way they could find out the truth is to go to the Lord and do like David did here. Search me. David didn't go and say, search that one over there, God. Go over there and search that one. He deserves to be searched. No, David didn't go and point fingers at somebody else. He said, search me, David. Search David, O God. That's the reason he said the word me. And know my heart. God created the heart. He knows every one of our hearts. He knows what my message was when I walked out here. He knows everything about me. There ain't nothing that he doesn't know. Try me and know my thoughts. He knows if my thoughts are pure thoughts. He knows if my thoughts are evil thoughts. You know, I live in the flesh. I think fleshly stuff. I can't walk around with a sack over my head. I don't think that would be wise to do, is to walk around and keep your eyes closed at I've got to have my eyes open. When I walk out of my little room out here, I've got to have my eyes open because I do not want to fall flat on my stomach outside because I didn't take the time to manage to get out of here. Used to, 5 years ago, I could just walk out and never have to hold on to nothing. Now, I have to hold on. I have to know how I'm planting my foot. Try me and know my thoughts. Does the Lord know our thoughts? Sure he does. He knows if this is a game. He knows if this is for real. Maybe this is my reminder that when I go to church on Sunday, and maybe I happen to use this, that I can go and take this and play it over and over and over again to myself. A lot of times the video that I make for myself because I don't ever know who is going to be watching. I just hope that the videos that I share, people find the truth in the video. I hope that they find something that is reality and real. Because he says here, and see if there be any wicked way in me. He knows our wickedness. He knows your wickedness. He sure enough knows mine. And you notice the last part in that verse, and lead me. And lead me. There was a thing on Facebook I saw today where a man was trying to tie a harness around a goat. And he wanted to walk that goat. He wanted that goat to follow him, so he put a lead on that goat. Well, that goat would follow to a degree. And lead me. The only one that can lead me is the Lord God. He's the only one that can lead me, because if I lead myself, I'm going to fall over in the ditch. He says, and lead me in the way everlasting. And lead me. Is it my desire to be led by the Spirit when I come out here and read a verse? I don't have to go and scream at nobody. I don't have to go and call down nobody. I mean, these two verses right here really should speak to everyone that hears this message. Because I'm having to look at myself. When David says, search me, O God, I don't have enough time in the day to search everybody else. I have a full-time job searching myself. That's the reason David says, search me, O God. Don't let me search me. Search me, O God. Meaning, God, what do you think about me? He already knows. He knows what he thinks about me. And know my heart. Oh, how well he knows the heart. He knows if it's evil. He knows if it's lustful. He knows if it's honest. He knows if I'm in right standing with him. He knows. Try me and know my thoughts. If David hadn't have said all this, would the Lord have known his heart? Sure. If he hadn't have said all this, would the Lord have the ability to try him? But see, David says, try me. He didn't say try that one over there. David's talking to himself here, but he's talking to God on behalf of himself. Try me and know my thoughts. Does he know your thoughts today? Sure he does. He's not ignorant of your thoughts. He knows exactly what goes on in the mind. He knew every word I was going to say in this message. He knew that I was going to get up and come out here, and it's almost like 12 noon. He knew that I was going to think about that Psalm 139, verse 23 and 24. He knew it. Because God knows all things. So is he able to try my thoughts? Sure. That's what he says. And see if there be any wicked way in me. Not the other one. Not that one over there. In me. I've got to examine me. You have to examine you. Again, I've got a full-time job just dealing with the one that you're looking at right now. I've got a full 7-day-a-week, 24-hour-a-day job just checking up on me. And maybe one day when I go back and listen to this in a year from now, I can be able to say, Lord, I remember that day. I remember it was a day after Christmas that I went out there and used Psalm 139, verse 23 and 24. God put the words in the Bible, and lead me in the way of everlasting. Everlasting. I mean, God's always around. He's always around. You know, the way that he leads me is he wants me to remember my salvation. That's how he leads me in the way everlasting, is that he wants me to know that I have been born of the Spirit of God. And I want to be born of the Spirit of God. Lead me in the way of everlasting. I hope the Lord is leading you today. I believe he led me out here to do this little message today. If it don't help nobody but me, it'll be worth it. Elderly Ministry is how you get a hold of me if you'd like to talk. If you need assistance, if you need help, I've got little testaments like this that you can ask me for, and I've got plenty of them. And you can get you a little testament like this. If you just need gospel tracts, I've got them. I've got the time to talk to you if you need somebody to talk to. There's times that I need people to talk to. And I use the video to be able to share my thoughts. Just like he said right here in this word. And know my thoughts. God sees my thoughts. He sees what wickedness is in me. And see if there be any wicked way in me. I'd rather know to get the wickedness out now than to have the wickedness to be in front of me when I go to be with him. Now, does it affect my salvation? Say if I'm wicked in a certain area, do I have a desire to know that wickedness? Do I have a desire that I don't want no wickedness to be in front of me? If I decided that, it'd be all right, that God won't mind a little bit of wickedness, well, I'm basically, shall we continue in sin that grace abound? God forbid. To them that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to them it is sin. Sin tends to separate. It don't get rid of our salvation if we've been truly born of the Spirit of God. Not everything I did in my life pleased my father and mother. But they never threw me away. They never tossed me out. So yeah, you don't have to be perfect. I don't think that nobody is saying that I'm definitely perfect. I know I'm not perfect. But maybe you need to apply these two verses to yourself. Read these two verses for yourself and see if there is any wicked way in you, and lead me in the way of everlasting. The Lord can lead you too. He sure can. If I can help you, by all means, elderlyministry.com is the website. Look me up. I'll be glad to talk with you if I can do anything to help you. Thank you again for watching.